What's going on, guys? It is Tom, or Top 10 Wrestling, and we have finally made it to that period where there's going to be a lot of content regarding WrestleMania weekend, because WrestleMania weekend kind of begins today. The TNA show is tomorrow, which I'm going to be tuning into. Then tomorrow is NXT. Then the day after is the Supercard, G1 Supercard. Then the day after is WrestleMania, and then Raw and Smackdown following it. But yeah, I'm watching TNA tomorrow night. But for now, we're going to be making my predictions for the grandest show of them all, or grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania, the 35th edition. This is going to take ages because there's like 17 matches on the card. Yeah, let's do this. Alright, so starting off, we have Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship, which was just recently added to the kickoff, which, man, they really deserve to be on the main show. I was really hopeful because it hadn't been announced for the kickoff, but they've been reduced to the kickoff, and they deserve so much better. Buddy Murphy has been such a great champion, and Tony Nese is good as well. I'm going to go ahead and predict Tony Nese to win the Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy's had a long reign, and there were reports a couple years ago that WWE officials were really high on Tony Nese, so I don't know if that's still, a thing, but I'm going to go ahead and predict Tony Nese to win anyway. Next up, we have the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, the historic WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. I hate how WWE and Stephanie McMahon just throw the word historic into any women's match now, like especially Evolution when they announced the historic Women's Battle Royal, when really it's just a throwaway match. Likewise to how this is a throwaway match to get as many women on the card. Shame that Asuka is in it, shame that Mandy Rose is in it, shame that Sonya Deville's in it, because as far as I'm aware, they should be having a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm going to predict Lacey Evans to win this. She hasn't been wrestling at all. She's just been doing her entrance thing. She's going to come out WrestleMania, finally have a match, other than the Royal Rumble, of course, and win it. I just kind of see that happening. I think Asuka will make it look like she's won, and all of a sudden Lacey Evans runs in and throws her over the top rope to get massive boos. Yeah, such a shame, but I'm predicting Lacey Evans to win. I think that's a pretty safe prediction, to be fair. Then we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This match it's at first my whole mindset was Kurt Hawkins is gonna win it because he has his losing streak, and he would just win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. In my fantasy booking, I wanted that to happen. I'd love to see Kurt Hawkins win, but him and Zack Ryder challenged the Revival for WrestleMania, and the Revival said they'd think about it. It still hasn't been announced, but I don't know. So I'm gonna say if Kurt Hawkins isn't in it, then Braun Strowman isn't gonna win. Then Braun Strowman is going to win, I mean. So Braun Strowman to win if Kurt Hawkins isn't in it. But if Hawkins is in it, then Hawkins, I think, will win. Okay, and the next match is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus Ricochet and Aleister Black versus The Bar versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. You know what, this match, it is a bit of a dud because it just got announced, a day ago. But I think this match is going to do really, really good. I mean, everyone in here is very good. I think Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev are going to win this match because it gives them something to do. I mean, if they lose, then literally what do they do after this? Because, yeah, I think they're going to win this match. The Usos going into WrestleMania again is so well deserved. It's so amazing to see Ricochet and Aleister Black on the WrestleMania card. But I can't help but think that it should just be the Usos versus the Hardys. It really should. But nonetheless, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev to win. And the next match on the card is Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin in Kurt Angle's farewell match. Boy, oh boy, should this be Kurt Angle versus John Cena. There's been a lot of mistakes when it comes to this card. It should just be like different opponents for certain people. Like I said before, the Usos should be against the Hardys, but whatever. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's going to win. I think Kurt Angle will go out on his back, and they're going to get mega heat on Baron Corbin. The next match is for the Intercontinental Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Demon Finn Balor. Finn Balor's a demon, which means he's going to win. Yeah, it's as simple as that. I think Demon Finn Balor is going to reclaim the Intercontinental Championship. I think the booking for this storyline has been very backwards. I don't know why Finn won it at Fastlane, was it? Or Elimination Chamber. I don't know why Finn won it there just to lose it a couple weeks later, where he's probably going to win it back now because he's the demon. Yeah, I'm predicting Finn to win. Then, in a match that I'm very excited for, but a match that is very much up in the air, Samoa Joe takes on Rey Mysterio. A battle of a guy who spent most of his career on the indies and he's big versus a guy who spent most of his career in WWE who's small, a high flyer. It's going to be a great mesh of styles. If this match does take place, I have a feeling Rey Mysterio, if he isn't available, Kevin Owens will probably come in. But I'm predicting Samoa Joe to retain nonetheless. Samoa Joe just needs to have a dominant run with the title. Oh my god, what if John Cena replaces Rey Mysterio? Oh my, wow, I just thought of that. What if John Cena replaces Rey Mysterio? I'd be fine with that because it would be an amazing match, but only if Joe retained. But I'm predicting Joe to retain against Rey Mysterio if that match happens, of course. And then we have kind of another indie versus WWE match, but this match has been kind of built as the WWE versus Indies match by the WWE themselves. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. What an amazing build this feud has had. Like, for real, man. That segment where Randy Orton says that while he was winning a world championship, AJ Styles was sunbathing with Dixie Carter. Like, and then they had their Kevin Owens show segment just this past week. Great. Hats off to both men. Randy Orton, I will not take any slander of him. He's amazing. And AJ Styles has proved that he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. I'm going to predict... This is probably the hardest to predict because at first I was thinking Randy Orton, but then he got the upper hand on AJ Styles on Smackdown with a mid-air RKO where he reversed the phenomenal forearm. And my whole idea was that that would be the finish to the WrestleMania match. But since he's done that on Smackdown and not WrestleMania, I'm predicting AJ Styles to win this match against Randy Orton. It's going to be a good match. Can't wait for it. Great build. Next up, we have the Women's Tag Team Championships. Fatal 4-Way, Bayley and Sasha versus Beth and Natalya versus the Iconics versus Nia Jax and Tamina. Now, at first, when Charlotte Flair won the SmackDown Women's Championship, I was like, okay, Bayley and Sasha are going to win because they won all 4 of the 4 horsewomen at the end to have titles. But now the main event is a unification match, so I just think the Iconics could win, but I'm going to go with my head. I'm going to predict Bayley and Sasha to retain. As much as the Iconics really should win, to be honest, I could see Beth and Natalya winning as well. I could also kind of see Nia Jax and Tamina winning, but probably the least out of all of them. No, actually, I really could. Yeah, this one's hard to predict, but I think using my head and removing my fantasy booking, Sasha Banks and Bayley to win, as much as it should be the Iconics. So the next match on the card is Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I think this one's really easy to predict. Roman Reigns should win this match. I mean, to be fair, if Drew McIntyre won, I wouldn't be so mad about that because he'd get mega heat for it. But I think just for the fact that he's returned for his battle with leukemia, it's his first WrestleMania singles match since then. Roman Reigns should win and get another WrestleMania moment because, you know, this time around it should actually happen. The other few years, no, it should not have happened. He should not have had the main event the other few years. But this year round, he should beat Drew McIntyre, even though this obviously isn't the main event. But you know what I mean. Roman Reigns to win this match. And then we have Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a 4 count anywhere match. Again, pretty easy to predict this one. I don't know how this match is going to go because, you know, Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles was a really, really good match. But I'm not sure if him and The Miz can kind of replicate that. The Miz is great in the ring. And obviously it's a 4 count anywhere match, which will make it better. I'm predicting The Miz to win this one. It's an easy one to predict, like I said. There's absolutely no reason for Shane McMahon to win. The storyline, again, has been really good. SmackDown has more or less killed it with all the storylines, especially the WWE Championship, which we'll get onto later. But yeah, I'm predicting The Miz to win this one. Then we have Batista versus Triple H in a no-holds-barred match where Triple H's career is on the line, and I'm predicting Triple H to win this one. Batista, I can't see him beating Triple H in a one-off appearance. I don't think Batista really cares about winning. He just kind of, I think he just wanted to come back and face face Triple H just for the one night only. So I don't see Batista, you know, making a fuss about losing. So I'm predicting Triple H to win, and Triple H isn't going to retire anytime soon. That Saudi Arabia money, you know, is not going down the drain. Then we have Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. And this is genuinely a really hard one to predict. At first, I was so certain that Seth Rollins was going to win. But then the Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston storyline came in. And I started thinking to myself, is Becky, Kofi, and Seth all going to win? Surely not. One of them is going to lose. And one of them I don't think is going to be Seth. I think Seth is going to win this match here. Which leads me on to Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, where you know, I want Kofi Kingston to win so badly, but the more I think about it, the more I think it's not going to happen. So I'm predicting Daniel Bryan to defeat Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. Oh, that hurts to say because it shouldn't happen. Kofi should win, but WWE are so good at putting good moments to waste, and quite frankly, I think they're going to do it again. Maybe Bray Wyatt returns and interferes to help Daniel Bryan, and he joins with Daniel Bryan. Maybe Big E turns on Kofi Kingston. I really want Kofi to win, but there's so much that could happen. I mean, Kevin Owens isn't on the card. He could possibly. It's scary to think about. I want to be wrong. I really want to be wrong, but I'm predicting Daniel Bryan to retain. And finally, we're talking about the main event. Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey versus SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch in a winner-takes-all match in the main event. The first time women have ever main evented Mania. The last week on Raw really saved this build. This build was absolutely terrible, but that segment where they all got arrested and Charlotte kneeing Ronda in the face was fantastic, so that kind of saved the build. Becky Lynch is going to win. They need to have a satisfying ending to Mania, and I don't see that happening with Charlotte Flair or Ronda Rousey winning. But to be honest, I'm a big Charlotte Flair mark. I would not mind if Charlotte Flair won, but I know for the greater good, Becky Lynch should be winning this match, and I'm predicting Becky Lynch to win this match. And again, I'm fine with Becky Lynch winning the match. I wouldn't want to see Ronda win it, but Charlotte Flair and Becky I'd be fine with. But I'm predicting Becky, and I can't wait for this match. Thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy, then smack that like button. So those are my predictions for WrestleMania. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Let me know what shows you're going to be watching for WrestleMania weekend, if there's any non-WWE ones, because I'm making a real effort to watch some more non-WWE stuff, hence why I'm watching TNA tomorrow and the G1 Supercard when that comes around. But yeah, follow me on Twitter at Top 10 Wrestling. My Instagram is at I'm Tom Bell. Goodbye and keep on rolling.